Residents of the so-called Army Street projects complained about the dangers and the drugs. One of those who spoke out was a 9-year-old boy. Now the boy's uncle says the family has received death threats. Leslie Griffith is in San Francisco tonight with a live report. Leslie.
Elaine, the intimidation that goes on in the Army Street projects at times is so strong that to even want a better life or to express fear about your current situation can get you killed. Like you said, a little 9-year-old boy and his teenage sister talked about their lives on segment 2 this week. The boy told us that he was afraid of the crack dealers and that he didn't want to die. After that came a death threat and a change of address.
It's unfortunate, just in this whole news segment, that, you know, a child feels that, hey, he's living in a hostage type of situation. And he speaks out about it. He doesn't name any names or anything, but just the fact that he would speak out about the conditions here, his life is threatened. 9 years old, he's threatened by some cowards who threatened to firebomb his house.
When San Francisco police heard about the threat, they called San Francisco Director of Housing and Urban Development, Art Agnos. He then called Mayor Jordan, who gave permission to put the family in a hotel until a new home could be found for them.
They have 2 children. One is finished college, another one is going to college. They have a daughter who's in high school, who is a straight-A student, an outstanding scholar athlete, and it's not unusual to find families that are struggling this way to make it, and it's too bad they have to live under the kinds of conditions where they're threatened with physical harm because they're trying to live and improve their neighborhood.
Police officers who patrol the Army Street project say there are many good people out here, but the dope dealers keep them so intimidated, virtually everyone is afraid to help catch the dealers and the killers. This little boy wasn't even trying to turn anyone in. He just expressed a desire for something more.
There's that other 5% that basically are living off the misery of others. They are keeping people down here. Anytime a child has to come outside and he has to see a urine-infested hallway, graffiti all over his walls, broken windows, you can't play in grass with sprinkler systems like other decent kids.
Art Agnos said the Housing and Urban Development Agency is now looking for permanent housing for this family. Just like that, their lives have been changed. According to police, Dennis and Elaine, this sort of intimidation happens all the time.
Leslie Griffith, live in San Francisco. Thank you, Leslie.
While the public's perception of the Army Street projects includes death and despair, as Leslie said in that report, the legacy of the low-income housing complex should also include stories of hope and survival. Brian Van Miller joins us now with a third and final installment of his segment 2 report. Brian?
Thank you, Dennis. The last 2 nights we showed you just how horrible it can be to live with little hope, stuck at the bottom of the economic ladder, surrounded by crime and violence. But despite that despair that can grip the disadvantaged like a vice, some do make it. They're the ones who defy the odds and give inspiration to us all.
Come on, how bad you want it? I want it. Come on, I want it. I want it.
22-year-old James Lester, or Binky the Boxer, as he's called on the street, is fighting his way out of a killing ground.
Yeah, I was lucky.
When you watch this reigning Golden Gloves champion of San Francisco work out in the ring, you'd never guess that 2 years ago, he walked through the shadow of death.
It took the police officers about 4 or 5 minutes to get there, and as I was hit, I was laying on the ground. When they operated on me for 6, 7, maybe, I think, 14 hours.
Bullets from 2 semi-automatic weapons punched through Binky's left leg, tearing apart a major artery.
I got shot 3 times, one here. The bullet came out of this, the same bullet. I got hit here and hit here. And they put me to sleep. The doc said, before I put this on, I'm going to tell you one thing. You have a 50-50 chance on losing your leg.
The attack that almost cost Binky his life happened here one June afternoon in San Francisco's Army Street projects. Police say he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, a place where drive-by shooters set their sights on this graffiti-scrawled complex.
Just shooting in the crowd, just shooting, you know, so everybody scattered. I scattered too. You know, I grew up around here all my life. Hey, Jamie. Huh?
Binky is the son of well-known San Francisco middleweight Jimmy Lester, and Binky's fight to the top of the San Francisco boxing world has made him a hero here. His sneakers hang from utility wires, a gang-style tribute to his accomplishments.
My first tennis shoes is the black and blue ones that's swinging around in the circle. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah.
Binky's coach is groundskeeper at the project and a part-time singer for Giants baseball games.
On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be.
He says Binky is the ultimate comeback kid.
Is where I'll be.
There's an individual who is like the mythical phoenix, who is rising from the ashes, the burnt ashes, to metamorphosize and to reinvent himself into a new being, a new person.
These streets are a powerful lure to Binky, who admits he's used crack cocaine.
In my opinion, I thought it was cool because everybody else was doing it. I mean, well, you know, I'm doing it too, you know.
What would you say now?
No, I mean, I wish I could turn back in time, but I definitely want to get up out of these projects. You know, I want to be somebody.
Binky's dream to become an Olympic boxer now hangs in the balance.
If I lose, I would have to sleep in the cold, and nobody in the world do not really want to be with a loser. Everybody like winners.
2 months ago, Binky moved out of the Army Street projects to a better place. 476 residents remain there, still living with the dangers that surround them each and every day. They are people with dreams and ambitions, and for those families, the Army Street projects are simply home.